Now we are taking into account the kinetic theory of matter. So, according to the postulates of kinetic theory of matter, it states that matter is made up of small particles. As we have already discussed that those particles can be atoms, molecules and ions. I think I don't need to repeat these terms now because I have already made you familiar with what the atom, molecule or ion is. So, matter is made up of small particles, can be atom, can be molecule, can be ion. And when they exist, when they closely exist, there is certain kind of intermolecular space between them. What is it? See, space means distance, inter means within the molecules. So within the molecules there is a certain kind of space called as intermolecular space. So when atoms are packed, so obviously there is the maximum or minimum, there exists the intermolecular force as well between them. So again, force means attraction or repulsion, inter means within the molecule. So there is the force of attraction between the molecules. See, the nature of force can be attractive as well as repulsive, but when we talk about any substance, so they get to exist within themselves if the force of attraction exists. They tend to exist as such in the nature because they have attraction between them. So this force is always attractive in nature. When I talk about intermolecular force, that means the attractive force that exists between the atoms of a molecule, or we can say the particles of the matter. And moreover, the particles are not stationary, they are randomly moving. Randomly means in any direction they are moving, or any kind of motion they can possess, vibratory, oscillatory, linear, any, depending upon the space where they can move around. So they are randomly moving. So if they are moving, we know that the particles which are in motion, that possess kinetic energy. So we say the particles possess kinetic energy. And how this energy can be increased or decreased? Kinetic energy is directly proportional to temperature. That means it is the function of temperature. As you heat it or as you lower the temperature, the kinetic energy will get affected accordingly. If you heat it, the kinetic energy will increase because the particles will, their energy will increase. If you decrease the temperature, they will lose energy, the kinetic energy will decrease. So that means kinetic energy is directly proportional to temperature. It is actually the function of temperature. The molecules also possess potential energy because there is an interaction between particles. So they also possess the potential energy. It is the energy which is possessed due to the position. So how they are present, how they are interacting with other particles present, their neighboring particles. So we say they possess the potential energy as well. So I'll repeat again for you. Kinetic theory of matter explains many things about matter. First of all, it explains that what it consists of. It consists of small particles, can be atom, can be molecule or can be ion. There is always a space between the molecules present in the matter called as intermolecular space. It can be low to maximum. There is a certain kind of attractive force which exhibit between the particles of matter. Sometimes I'm using the term particle, sometimes I'm using the word molecule. It means the same because the particle can be atom, molecule or ion. So if I say atom, molecule or ion, it means the same, or the particle. We can use any of the word. So intermolecular force is the force that exhibit between within the molecules, and the nature is always attractive. That is why they tend to exist among themselves. Next, they are randomly moving. They are not stationary. They are randomly moving in any direction. So that means they possess the kinetic energy, and this kinetic energy can be changed by changing the temperature because the kinetic energy is directly proportional to the temperature. Directly proportional means if you increase it, it will increase accordingly. If you decrease it, it will decrease accordingly. It has a direct effect. So there also exists the energy, that is potential energy. This energy is due to the interaction between the particles of the matter. So this is the kinetic theory explains about the matter. Now as we know that matter exists in three states, that is solid, liquid and gas. So how we can explain the physical nature of this thing solid, liquid and gas on the basis of kinetic theory of matter. So now I am telling you the explanation of solid, liquid and gas on the basis of kinetic theory of matter. See, in solid we get to see particles like this. as I'm drawing in the figure. You see they are closely packed. I'm not leaving much of the space between them. They are closely packed. And if I take into account liquid, they are present like this. There is a space between them. And in gas, when I'm making, they are like this. So what difference you get to see? Okay, tell me. In solid, closely packed, no space and all. No space and all at all, but there is a force because they are closely packed. In liquid, they are far apart, little far apart if we compare it with the solid. There is a space, and obviously the force will also get affected accordingly. We'll study now. And in gas, they are far apart. We get to see so many molecules, so many atoms or particles in the matter in the solid. And in the same sample in liquid, we get to only see 5 atoms. And in gases, only 2. So that means they are far apart. So now, how kinetic theory explains about the solid, liquid and gaseous particles. See, what you get to see in solid, they are closely packed. Closely packed means, obviously, intermolecular space is low. And what more you get to see, obviously they are closely packed, so force is strong. That is why they tend to exist together. Now, what about the compressibility? They are not at all compressible, or we can say they are little compressible. Now what factor governs the property compressibility? See, if I am standing here and some of my friend is standing here, if you want to make us closer to each other, so there should some space to be exist. If there will be some space, then only me and my friend can be more closer. And if we are already very close to each other, we cannot be more closer. So that means if we want to compress something, there should be a space between atoms or particles, whatever term we can use it. So there should be a space. So we get to see that in solid there is no space or very little space. So you cannot make the atoms more closer. So that is why I say they are not compressible. And next is density. When we talk about density, can you comment on its density? See, by looking at the figure, we can see that density is actually, I'll tell you, it is mass per unit volume. In a given sample, in a given volume, there are so many atoms present. So obviously, the density is high. And can they flow? No, they can't flow, because the intermolecular force of attraction is so strong, they will not allow the atom to go far from each other. So any substance which fulfill all these characteristics exists as solid. So I think you have lot of examples in your mind which fulfill all these properties. So those all are considered to be solid. And now when we talk about liquid, what we get to see in liquid? See, they are not so closely packed. Not so closely packed. And what about the space? There is a space between them. It is not too much, but still as compared to solid, it has some space. And when we talk about force, the force is not much strong if we compare it with the solid. As it contains the spaces, that means it is compressible, because I've told you to compress a substance there should exist a space between atoms or particles. So there is a space, so that means they can be compressed. And if we talk about density, see, in a given sample there are so many atoms, and in this given volume there are only 5 atoms. You can also draw 6, you can draw 6, 7, 8, but it will be always less than the atoms which are present in this solid in the given sample of the volume. In the given volume, it will be always less as compared to the solid. So that means it has less density, and they can flow because their intermolecular force is not much strong as compared to the intermolecular force of the solid. So they can flow. The substances which can flow are called as fluid. So it also comes under the category of fluid. So any substance which fulfill all these categories is called as liquid. And if we talk about gas, see, when we look at gas, there are so many atoms, there are fewer as compared to it, and it contains only 2 atoms in a given volume. So that means they are not so closely packed, they are far apart from each other. And there is lot of space between them, intermolecular space is maximum in it. And force, obviously because they are far apart, so intermolecular forces are least. There is no force of attraction. That is why they are moving away from each other. And when we talk about density, least density, because density is mass per unit volume. In a given volume, they are so apart that in a given volume there are only fewer molecules or atoms which are present in case of gas, and they can easily flow because there is not much force of attraction. And when we talk about compressibility, lot of intermolecular space indicate maximum compressibility. So any substance which fulfill these characteristics is called as gas, these characteristics called as solid, liquid, and these characteristics is called as solid. So I can I'll write, you must be having many examples in your mind, but still for your easiness I'll write one example for you each, like solid, wooden block, particles closer, definite shape, definite volume, not compressible, high density, can't flow, so all these properties. And liquid, for example, we have water, so no definite shape, definite volume, definite mass, less density as compared to the solid, can be compressed little. And when we talk about the gas, for example, O2 gas, so particles are far apart, intermolecular force, space, maximum, force, least, no definite shape, no definite volume, can be compressed and can flow. So these all are the characteristics which the solid, liquid and gaseous exhibit, and these characteristics, all these the particle nature, the forces, the spaces, the compressibility, density, everything can be explained on the basis of kinetic theory of matter. So kinetic theory of matter succeeded in explaining the particle nature or the arrangement or the forces or the spaces or the properties which a substance exhibit when it exists as solid, liquid or gas.